What's up, my beauties? It's Yabba here, back at you with another Let's Play. This time it is Mountain Blade Warband. We're going to start a whole new campaign. This is going to be no tutorials, we're just going to go straight into it. I brought you in here just so we can create the character and whatnot. So let's go. Like I've played this before. We're going to be male. I've played this before. I'm not very good at it. Eventually I just evolved to using cheats, but I'm going to try and not use cheats. Yeah, so this is, if you've never played before, this is where you set up your beginner character. You choose some of the basic skills you start with, and sometimes you'll change the starting equipment you have. So I usually go for an impoverished noble. This just generally makes it a little easier to start because you become someone's thingy, but Let's change that. Let's go for a veteran warrior. We're gonna be a craftsman's apprentice. Actually, let's go back and read these. Let's set the story mode. All right. You were born years ago in a land far away. Your father was an impoverished noble, a traveling merchant, a veteran warrior, a hunter, a nomad, a thief. So, like I said, if you choose noble, you can pretty much, you start off, you choose your flag. You don't have to work your way up. You can already build an army straight away. But we're going to be a little different. We're going to go the long way. So we're going to be a veteran warrior. So here we go. As a child, your family scrabbled out a meagre living from your father's wages as a guardsman to the local lord. It was not an easy existence, and you were too poor to get much of an education. You learned mainly how to defend yourself in the streets, with or without a weapon in hand. You started to learn about the world almost as soon as you could walk and talk. You spent your early life as a page at noble's court, a craftsman's apprentice, a shop assistant, a street urchin, or a steppe child. I'm going to be a page at a nobleman's court. As a boy growing out of childhood, you were sent to live in the court of one of the nobles of the land. There, your first lessons were in humility, as you waited upon the lords and ladies of the household. But from their chess games, their gossip, even the poetry of great deeds and courtly love, you quickly began to learn about the adult world of conflict and competition. You also learned from the rough games of the other children who battered at each other with sticks in imitation of their elders' swords. Then, as a young adult, life changed as it always does. You became a squire, a troubadour, a university student, a goods peddler, a smith, a game poacher. I usually go for either squire or smith, so I'm going to go for smith. Though the distinction felt sudden to you, somewhere along the way you had become a man, and the whole world seemed to change around you. You pursued a career as a smith, crafting items of function and beauty out of simple metal. As time wore on, you became a master of your trade, and fine work started to fetch fine prices. With food in your belly and logs on your fire, you could take pride in your work and your growing reputation. But soon everything changed, and you decided to strike out on your own as an adventurer. What made you take this decision was personal revenge, the loss of a loved one, wanderlust, being forced out of your home, lust for money and power. I might go for the loss of a loved one. Yeah, let's just say we lost our wife and children when we were raided. Got raided by bandits, and yeah, we lost our wife and child. We'll go for that one. Only you know exactly what caused you to give up your old life and become an adventurer. All you can say is that you couldn't bear to stay, not with the memories of those you loved, so close and so painful. Perhaps your new life will let you forget to honor the name that you can no longer bear to speak. Become an adventurer and ride to your destiny. Yes. I'm going to do allow quit without saving. I don't generally do that. Anyway, just, you know, It's just easier while I'm doing a let's play. And now enter your name and distribute your attribute, skill, and weapon points. You can click on various elements of the screen to learn how each one will affect your character. So our name will be Yabba. Shall. I don't know. So let's do our attributes. So strength adds one to hit points and can only and affects some of the levels you can get the skills. Mainly Iron Flesh, Power Strike, Power Throw, Power Draw. Agility, each point gives 5 weapon points and slightly increases movement speed. The following skills cannot be developed beyond 1-3. Shield, Athletics, Riding, Horse Archery, Looting. Horse Archery, I do tend to get up quite high because I like to ride a horse into battle. Firing arrows, then when I get close, I pull out a claymore and start swinging like a madman. Intelligence, that affects basically how many people can follow you. So that's a good one to get up really early. And, no, that's not. That's every point of intelligence immediately gives you 1 extra skill point. The following skills cannot be developed, blah, 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 blah. Training, tracking, tactics, pathfinder, blah, 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 blah. It's charisma. Each point increases your party size limit by 1. So prisoner management, leadership, and trade. So I'm going to go for that one, that one, that one, and one more in charisma. And then we are going to... Trainer's a great one. We've already got one in there. We're going to put one in there. One in there. Tracking lets you see where groups have moved past. I'm going to go for... I generally like to go for two-handed weapons, like I said. So we're going to go for archery and two-handed weapons. Inventory management, we're going to go 2 in that. We need some in wound treatment. You can get other people that can have these skills, and so long as you have them in the group, will affect everything. Actually, we're going to put the last skill in there. So now we're just going to pop everything into two-handed. For now. Alright, so let's look. Let's just randomize a bit. Let's see. I'm going to go with what I usually look like. This is not what I look like in real life. I could. I mean, that's generally my beard there. Not as nice and tidy. That's pretty close to it. And so is that one. We'll change the hair color to about there, and we'll change the age to about there. So I want to change the lips. Ooh. That's essentially me there. Give or take. I'm not going to spend hours on this. Let's just see if there's any better hair. I normally go for that. There are some funky hairs in this one. No. Yeah, that'll do. So as you can see, we start off with a nice shield, sword, and a crossbow. Pretty good weapons to start with. I generally go up to Saragoth. Anyway, you hear about Calradia, a land torn between rival kingdoms battling each other for supremacy. A haven for knights and mercenaries, cutthroats and adventurers, all willing to risk their lives in pursuit of fortune, power, or glory. In this land, which holds great dangers and even greater opportunities, you believe you may leave your past behind and start a new life. You feel that finally you hold the key of your destiny in your hands, free to choose as you will, and that whatever course you take, great adventures will await you. Drawn by the stories you hear about Calradia and its kingdoms, you join a caravan to Pravin in the kingdom of Swadia, join a caravan to Rivadin in the kingdom of Vegaris, join a caravan to Tulga in the kingdom of... Sorry, that's my alarm going off there. Something completely unrelated. Join a caravan to Tolga in the Kurajit Khanate. Take a ship to Sargoth in the kingdom of the Nords. Take a ship to Jelka in the kingdom of the Rodoks. Join a caravan to Shariz in the Saranid Sultanate. Now, this game is great. It's got so many game conversions. There's Star Wars ones. There's Game of Thrones ones. And maybe down the line we might have a look at a couple of those. But for now, I'm just going to head to the Nords. You take passage with a trading longship carrying Falcons? No idea. From the furthest reaches of the north to the to be bartered for linen and wool. It sailed early in the season, but the master reckoned that the risks of drifting ice and later winter storms could be justified by running ahead of the sea raiders, who by April would be sailing forth from their island lairs to ravage Calradia's coasts. It was some relief when your ship came in sight of the delta of the Vile and Buluk rivers, and a short while later rode past tidal flats and coastal marshes to the city of Sargoth, home to the sea raiders' distant kinsmen, the Nordic lords, who a few generations ago had carved themselves a kingdom in this rich but troubled land. You are exhausted by the time you find the inn in Sargoth. Don't worry, there's not this much story in later, but I will tend to read out the letters like this. And fall asleep quickly. However, you awake before dawn and are eager to explore your surroundings. You venture out onto the streets, which are still deserted. All of a sudden, you hear a sound that stands the hairs of your neck on end, the rasp of a blade sliding from its scabbard. Let's see if I can remember this game. Ah, there he is. Oh. So, the arrows you saw there are the way I'm going to swing from. So, swing there, swing there, swing there. You know. You can also see them when they're swinging as well. Are you alright? Well, I guess you're alive at any rate. I'm not sure that we can say the same for the other fellow. That's one less thief to trouble our streets at night. Although, heaven knows he won't be the last. Anyway, maybe you can help me with something. Let's talk more inside. Out here, we don't know who's listening. The merchant takes you to his house. Once inside, he stands by the door for a while, checking the street, and then finally, convinced you have not been followed, comes near to you to speak. This is primarily an open quest to begin with, to get you some money and a few bits, and shows you some of the general things you will be doing later on. I want to put that away. How do I put that away? No. Ah. That one. Okay. And F to talk. Now, let me explain my proposition. We've always had brigands, excuse me, I'm just going to take a drink, in the hills, driven to banditry by war, debt, or love of violence. Recently, however, they've been getting bolder, leaving their camps in the wild and venturing into town, looking for unwary prey. The Watch Commander tells us it's because of all the fighting on the frontiers, fewer men to keep an eye on the streets, but I'm not sure what to make of that. It seems to me that the most logical explanation is that these bandits have an ally inside the walls, who helps them enter unnoticed, and helps them identify particularly tempting targets. Last week, you see, they took my brother. I don't know what my brother was thinking. A lad from a prominent house, out alone after dark in times like these. Well, I suppose you were too, but you're a stranger here, and didn't know how bad things have become. He had no such excuse, but he's family, so what can you do? If you don't protect your kin, then people will start thinking that you can't protect our investments either, and I can't have that. No doubt the gang will soon send word about a ransom, but I don't care to pay it. So here's my proposition. You look like you've had a bit of experience with a blade, and more importantly, you must have a bit of fire in your belly, or you wouldn't be coming to Calradia to seek your fortune. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Gather a small party, track down these bandits to their lair, teach them a lesson they won't forget, and get my brother back safe. In return, you'll earn my lasting gratitude and a bit of silver. What do you say? I'm going to do this because he gives you some silver at the beginning, which allows you to get some troops to go, which is great. And a great start to begin with. I got 100 dinars. That's the currency in Calradia. You won't be able to do this by yourself, though. If you try and take on the whole gang single-handedly, the hunter will become the hunted, I'll warrant. You'll first want to round up a group of volunteers. There's always a few lads in the villages around here looking for a bit of work that's more interesting than tilling the soil or hauling water. They'll follow you if you pay, so take this purse of 100 dinars, consider it an advance on your reward. Go round to the villages and use the money to hire some help. I reckon that you need at least 5 men to take on these bandits. Me. Very good, sir. I'll go collect some men from around the villages. Good. You can find me again in the tavern here in Sargoth after you've got your group together, and then we'll speak about what we do next. So, I forgot there's a keep button. Yeah. Tab. So here we are. This is Calradia. It's big. All the way up here. Yeah. Rather big. And this, over here, is little old me. Hello. Let's go to Quinn. Giddy up. That was bandits. So we're going to recruit some volunteers. I'm not going to read all of this. It's generally the same thing. It just gives you an overview of what the village is like. No one here wants to join. Okay. Let's go to Hyen. Go away, please. I'm in nowhere position to fight. You don't necessarily... You don't die. Well, you can't... You don't actually die when you lose a fight. Instead, what happens... is you get captured and they carry you around for a while, and sometimes your lord, if you're a lord, will buy you back, or sometimes you'll escape freedom, but you will lose almost everything. You will lose nigh on everything you have on you, which is not great. So if we look, I've got 5 recruits. I love the Nord troops. I really, really do. When you get them to the max level, my Christ, can they really do some damage. They are the best siege soldiers I have ever seen. Great for taking castles. Great for defending castles. Even great in the main, because you can split them. And you can have some with throwing axes, some with just axes and huge shields. They're great. They're not so great at archery. You can train them to be archers, but they're not so great. So I am literally going to go around and I'm going to recruit a bunch of stuff. So how much money have I got left? I've got 200 dinars. Sweet. If I mouse over me, I get to see how the speed we move. So we move 3.6. So it's great to see if you can outrun some bandits or another force that is chasing you. You can also see who's in your band. You can also highlight others and see who's in theirs. If need be. So say you want to attack a group and you want to attack a group and you want to make sure that you're going to win, or you just want to check what they got so you can arrange or have, whether or not you have a chance of winning. You can just mouse over them. As you can see, we ride slower at night. Yeah, so we're at 6.1 now. Yeah, it's great. We've got one more there, so we're up to 6. Let's go to Builin. So how many can I have? 57. Look at that. Huge. Considering army sizes is about 71 per, I believe. At the moment, that's the setting I've got it on anyway. You can increase or decrease that depending on your system. if you think it's going to be too intensive for you to be running at a higher speed. This episode's going to be a longer one. It's the first one, so we're just getting started, and a lot of it was doing with reading, building our character at the beginning. No one there. Let's head back to Riza. When we eventually become a vassal, work our way up, we can get our own flag. But for now, we're just literally nothing important. We are no one of importance. So, we have no flag. We have no leader. Eventually, we can join a group. And this town, just if you get given this when you become a vassal, yeah, get ready to defend it every 5 seconds. Let's just wait here. This speeds up time. There we go. So if I, yeah, like I said, if I mouse over that, you can see what he's got in his armies. You can press space to pause. So he's got prisoners, he's got veteran archers, veteran soldiers, trained footmen, warriors, footmen, archers, huntsmen. Generally, actual armies like these are pretty difficult until later game, or until you join a lord. We've got 5 from there. Let's go to Venada. I am not going up here. Generally, I like getting Quinn as my starting one, but you can't choose. You are randomly assigned one. Yeah. But I will be joining the Nords for a little bit until I level up enough. Once I'm high enough level, I will eventually take over my own town. My own city. So how these work is Sargoth here. Is each castle or main city controls a few of the surrounding towns. So these villages belong to Vercheg, and I believe this one and this one belongs to Albert, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So I'm gonna return now. I've got more than I need. These are farmers. These are the guys that do trading. They go from one side to another. And that was the Lord. I want to just go to the marketplace a minute. Arms merchant. And I want to sell you. And you. Reason being is I don't like crossbows. Let's see. We're going to have to go down to the bottom. Got any gloves in here? Gloves are hard to come by, especially at the beginning. See, and they're very expensive. We'll keep hold of those. I'm going to visit the tavern. In the tavern, you can hire mercenary cavalrymen, people that are already laid up. You can also hire these guys. Which are the guys I said you can give specific skills to? So that's the merchant up there. You can go here. If you've got 1,000 gold, you can increase your how much people like you in the town. And then we have our tin miner here. He's another one that will join you. Some of them will join you for free. Some of them will cost, like our tin miner, because it would cost me 300. I don't have 300 right now. How much would you cost me? 2,632. And how many? 6. So there'll be 7 of them joining me for 2,500. Yeah. Very well. I shall hunt for the bandits. Blah blah blah. Now, if I remember, the bandits are right there. Boop. And this will be your first fight. So you can join your troops or just tell your boys to do it how you want. You can alter stuff with F1, tab, and buttons and pieces. So this will be your first actual battle. Now it is 4 against however many you have. As you can see, they're pretty low life. Nothing there. They'll have throwing rocks and a few other bits. Whoops. So my horse did damage there, but I missed. Your horse slows down when you go uphill. He's throwing rocks at me. He's dead. This is really about timing your swings to make sure they hit. What do we want? Boop. Yeah, okay. So this is 3126. This is 30. We don't want that. Press escape. Now I want to see my party. Oh, we can upgrade. We'll upgrade to footman. As you can see, they get better. I thought I had Nazir. Right. Find about it in area 3 region. Yeah, I know where this is. It's moved. Ah, there it is. More often than not, it shows up down here. So here we go. We're going to ride off. We're going to take this base down. Now, when a village has been raided, that's what it looks like over there, the burnt out husk. You can't do anything with that. It takes time, and eventually it will rebuild itself. Yeah. Now, we could pretty much go anywhere and not get attacked by any of the large armies. We will get attacked by bandits. Now, one of the best things about starting up here is the... see, guys. I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. The sea bandits, basically. They will... They're hard to beat. But they give great loot. Great things to start with. Some really high level chainmail, shields, swords, helmets, gauntlets, greaves, everything like that. They give generally higher level stuff. So I could literally stand here and watch these guys kill him all, but how are they getting involved? You can put your shield away and just use one-handed. Like you can get swords that you can use one-handed or two-handed. Those are the ones I like, because then I can keep a shield on my back. I got a sword in my hand, so I keep a shield for long range. Yeah, I keep a shield for defense against arrows. Yeah, we win. For shield, for defense against arrows from long range. Then when I get in, I switch to the double-handed and I just swing like a madman. Yeah. We saved him. Blah de blah de blah. I'm basically stealing all this so I can sell it. That's it. That's all I want to do. I want to sell it. Just to get some money at the start. We will be heading up here in a bit. That's usually where it spawns. Oh god. Manhunters. Oh, well, manhunters are friendly. They're just generally out. That's manhunters hunt bandits. You can go and help them. So if you see a battle going on, you can go and join and choose your side. Sometimes you can't. There's a whole range of diplomacy options you can take in this entire game. You don't even have to be a soldier. You can just be a trader. Just go from here to down there to over there, trading everything and anything. You can set up your own businesses in the marketplace and stuff like that. Let's go to arms. Let's sell. One thing you do need to do is make sure you have food in your inventory. So we've got 31 of 50. This generally means... let's see if they've got one. One-handed. Doesn't look like they got what I'm looking for. Can I use that? I can use that one. Yeah, let's go for that. And then we need some arrows. So where are the arrows? That's bolts. Arrows. There we go. So now we've got our bow. This basically means... yeah. You can get lances as well, which are great because you can charge and then you can thrust. You got arena battles. There's a lot of stuff in this game, and we'll get to a lot of it. I'm not a very good trader. I'm not a very good warrior, but I'm a better warrior than I am trader. There are walkthroughs of how to make mountains of money, where to go pick stuff up, where to go and sell it, where to just do everything. Really. Yeah. Basically, he's just saying, we need to root out who's causing all this, yada yada yada, which he does, and then he asks you if you want to lead some of the town's men in taking them out, and you can say yes or no. You say yes, you can make another 100 denarius. If you say no, so be it. So I'm going to stand here. Yeah, so early on bows are useless. The last one's over here. There we go, all done. Boop. There we go. And then we go talk to him. We got our money. Blah blah blah. Yes, and I come on, boys, for the boys for cabin, be down in the back room with a knife to the throat. I need to go dragon before King Ragnar and explain what blah, blah, blah. I'll assume you know everything. Yeah, so we'll find him again later in the tavern, and he'll basically say that King Ragnar thanks him, but banishes him at the same time. Okay, so now we are free. So let's head over here. I can't remember if you can increase the speed or not. I think you can. Let's upgrade one of those. So we've got 2 footmen. Let me go and see a minute. Oh, okay. I remember. So control the space, and we yep. There it is.
Today the gods will decide your fate.
All right, Arnold Schwarzenegger, calm the hell down. Now this is going to be a hard fight. Now we outnumber them, but this is going to be a hard fight. So I'm just telling everyone to hold this position. Wait for them to come to us. We leveled up. So now we've got them running. I'm going to chase after him and kill him. So we've won this fight. We killed 11, routed 1. Now as you can see, we got some decent stuff here. Now this is resistance 3 size 100, this is resistance 8 size 72 by 105. This one's better. We have a one-handed fighting axe that's swinging. We have a one-handed sword that's 2517. Ours is better. We have throwing axes. So yeah, generally it's much better.
That's a nice head you have on your shoulders.
Oh dear God. Let's just go for it. If I die, like I said, I die. I really should have moved position. Put your shield on your back. You stop arrows from behind you. So I'm very low health right now, so I'm literally just going to run. Let my men kill them. As you can see, my recruits are doing awesomely. Now, my usual tactic when I'm well outnumbered is just to go around in circles. But this isn't flat enough for that. Yeah, all my men are unconscious or dead. And I'm dead. So I'm about to lose everything. And then you'll watch me go around in circles. Just... That's me as a prisoner. I have nothing. But I escaped. So, oh. I've kept everything. Okay, leg it. Ah! What are these guys doing? Can I join?
That's a nice head you have on your shoulders.
I hope this place is flat. Oh, it is. Thank God for that. This is going to be a long fight. No, I'm going to die. If your horse dies, it dies. You'll have to buy a new one. Yeah, I think once we're out of here, I'm going to leg it. Hopefully I can hit the edge of the map. Why can't I retreat? I have to back to the flag, do I? There it is. I tend to go for the archers first in this kind of... when I'm running like this. Just so they stop attacking me from long range. And I'm used to having a longer sword than this. Nope. Gonna be here a while. I'll edit this bit out. Or see if I can speed this up. There we go. Archer's dead. Now it's just whittling these guys down. I'm going to get a lot of experience with this. Wish I had a two-handed weapon, but never mind. Ah, his shield got up. No, 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 no. Never ride through the middle. You want to take off outliers. Like this guy. Level 3. Haha. Missed. This is a cheap tactic, but it seems I can't run away at the moment, so eventually they'll start retreating. Oh, not now, that's it. That guy's just running for some weird reason. Swing around, line up. Shield. Eventually you will crack through their shields, like mine did. Axes do more damage to shields. Swords do more damage to people. So sometimes I'll have a sword and a shield, so when I'm struggling with shields, I'll just start wailing on them with an axe. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Each hit we're getting better with our one-handed. Swing by. Drive by. Yeah, because they're so heavily armoured as well, it takes a few hits. I can't take any hits because I will die. But this is like a cheap tactic, and you can win quite a few fights with this, unless they've got cavalry, which will keep up, and if they've got enough archers, they will just take you out from long range. That's why you generally go for the archers first. But say if I didn't have a horse, this tactic would be nowhere near possible. But what I think, once this fight is finished, I'm going to call it that. We've been going for 45 minutes now. Another one down. Another one bites the dust. Another one down. They're going to break soon. Another one down. Another one down. Another one down. Shield. Another one down. Go down to 2. Oh, I got cocky. One of the two. Just one left now. That's it. I took down 16. Yes. Yes. Alright, so that is going to be it, guys. I'm going to call it here. I hope you've enjoyed your first taste of Mountain Blade Warband. I'll bring you another episode in a couple of days. Tomorrow it'll be Factorio, and then it'll be this, so it'll go back to the alternating scenario like I did before. So, yeah. From me, Yabba. Cheers and gone.